Hi guys, in this video I'm going to show you a professional video system, and I'm going to compare it to the kind of industry standard when it comes to films or television productions, which is for the Teradek Bolt 500. So the system I got here today is from Hollyland. I've already reviewed actually one of their higher end systems in my wireless video shootout. So if you guys haven't seen that, check that video out. The link is in the description. That system that I reviewed by the same company, it's a really great system, higher end, obviously a lot more money. This one is kind of more on the entry level when it comes to professional video systems. So it's definitely a lot more affordable. It's actually around $1,500, depends where you get it. Again, all the links and all the information where you can get it and different prices are in the description of the video. What I found interesting is that it actually has a lot of similar features, yet for a lot lower price than the kind of industry standard from Teradek, which is the Teradek Bolt 500. So I'll take the system outside and test it out alongside the Teradek one. Right now I got the Hollyland system set up on my camera there, Ursa Mini 4.6K, and here on my director's monitor I've got the receiver. And I'm going to be testing it out in various conditions. So at first it's just going to be open line of sight, kind of ideal conditions, and then I'm also going to kind of put it behind my body or behind some cars and some other objects in between me and the transmitter. I'm also recording the signal here on my Atomos Ninja Inferno, so you guys can see how the signal looks as I get again further and further away, whether the quality drops. Anyways, let's go. Right now I'm 200 feet away and it seems to work great. Don't see any change in the signal, so I'll continue walking. Now this one from Cosmo, the signal, max signal is 400 feet that it's advertised at. So we'll see, because right now I'm reaching 300 feet. Got somebody cutting grass, so mind the noise. But this is at 300 feet, this is how I look. I don't see any signal right now, interference, so that's pretty good. But let's say if I go here behind maybe these cars and these bushes, see what happens. No, still getting a signal. Oh, and now it dropped. It dropped, okay. And now the signal is back. Okay, so when I did go behind the house there, the signal dropped. Anyways, let me continue walking. All right, and I am now at exactly 400 feet away, according to Google Maps, from the transmitter. And the signal still seems perfect. But anyways, I'm going to keep on walking and see actually how much further I can go with this. And okay, I am at 500 feet away. So 500 feet away, this is how it looks. Again, hopefully you guys can't see me. I'm really small. Should have maybe used a longer zoom lens. But anyways, this is how it looks. 500 feet away, and the signal, I don't know, to my eye, again, I'm going to have to, I guess, let you guys be the judge. But here, while I'm looking at it on the screen, it looks good. So let's actually continue walking. Let's see how much further I can go. And I am right now 600 feet away. And the signal is starting to cut out, so I can see this is probably the limit of it. It's open line of sight, but it's 600 feet. You know, as you can see, now I can see some pixelation and things like that. So the signal definitely is dropping. So I'm gonna start walking backwards now. But as you can see, you know, it works up to 500 feet open line of sight. Now I doubt that it's going to work 500 feet, but basically if I go here maybe onto this little side street, but let's give it a try. So here right now I'm hidden behind a car. I'm still getting actually a signal. So this is 500 feet behind one car, hidden. Now I've got the Teradek Bolt 500 mounted up here and on the camera there. And again, just going to walk back and let's see how the signal is compared to the previous system. All right, and I am now at 300 feet away. This is 300 feet away, open line of sight, obviously on the Teradek system. This is how it looks. Hopefully you guys can see me. The signal again here on the monitor looks good. I will do the same test now, going kind of behind the building, see what happens. Oh, okay, the same thing. When I'm here behind the building, it's basically losing the signal. And behind some trees and behind some bushes there, it lost signal. And now hopefully we'll reconnect. And yes, we are back. It's reconnected. Okay, so I'm gonna go further. Oh, and I'm losing signal here. I'm at 400 feet. I'm surprised. Teradek, it's the Teradek Bolt 500. It's supposed to have a link all the way up to 500 feet, but it's open line of sight. Okay, now signal's coming in and it's kind of like going in and out. Okay, now it's back. So 400 feet away. And yeah, and it was cutting out already. So I'm really actually surprised because, okay, here I'm gonna kind of turn around, move with it. It is open line of sight. There's nothing in between me and the receiver and the transmitter. Anyways, let's go to 500 feet. Oh, it's cutting out. And I lost the signal. This is 450. Let's go further. Okay, and finally, now at 500 feet, its signal came back, but it's been cutting out actually a lot. So I am very, very, again, surprised because Teradek is known kind of in the industry as being more reliable. So anyways, let's go a bit further. Oh, and the signal's getting a little weird now. I went barely past 500 feet. But definitely I can see the quality is just not good. It's kind of pixelated. And it's cutting out again. I am now at 600 feet, so no signal. It is cutting out, as you can see. So I am very surprised. And yeah, it's like coming in and out. Not only that, but it's like very pixelated. I can see it here on my screen. Anyways, let's go back now. Now I'm going to test out the short range, but going basically in behind walls. So I'm going to go up here to the side, go behind one building and actually go inside a building where there's multiple concrete walls. Let's see how that works. Okay, I'm behind the building. There's a few concrete walls here and some little like vegetation, bushes, trees like that. And signal seems to be good. And doesn't look like there's any dropped frames. Now let me go here inside a building. And now, yeah, I'm getting a signal, but it's definitely, it's choppy and it's lost signal. So yeah, lost the signal here inside and I'm getting it back. So, okay, so I'm getting a signal here. Yeah, I'm not gonna say it's the best signal. Definitely there's a quality drop, but I'm actually getting a signal here. So this is inside the building behind multiple concrete walls now. And there's metal objects, Wi-Fi signals, all that stuff. So yeah, this is how it looks. Now I've got the Teradek Bolt 500. Let's see how the signal is compared to the previous system. All right, so I'm behind the house, multiple concrete walls. Yeah, the signal is definitely, the quality I can see is dropping, but I'm still getting a signal. So now the distance is around 50 feet, so it's not very far. But as you can see, it's just, yeah, it's just going thing. Now I'm gonna go inside here, inside the house. Okay, going inside the building, definitely the signal quality is dropping, but I'm still getting a signal here, even though I'm inside the building. So, oh, okay, and it's cutting out. So it's kind of going in and out the more I go inside the building. All right, I'm back. So the final range test conclusion here is interesting simply because I was expecting the Teradek, because it's advertised as 500 feet, versus the Hollyland, which is only advertised as 400 feet range. I was expecting the Teradek to do better, but actually, like you guys saw, going back at 300 feet, they both performed equally the same, but at 400 feet, the Teradek was already losing signal. The Hollyland one, even at 500 feet open line of sight, it was working. It wasn't until I got close to 600 feet away that's when I started losing the signal. So actually surprisingly much better long range performance. As far as the tests here, kind of closer range but behind walls, the Hollyland one seemed to perform a bit better. Not a big difference, but again, it was just getting a stronger, cleaner signal than the Teradek one. So next, maybe let me kind of compare the design of these two systems and kind of the different features and things that they come with. Aside from performance, which I think both of these systems have a range that's plenty enough for most video and television productions, I think there's a few important things to mention. Now, just when you're looking, for example, at the transmitters, the one from Hollyland and the one from Teradek, they're very similar. They're actually identical thickness, but as you notice, the Hollyland one is a little bit taller. Not a big difference, but there is a difference there. And also, especially when you consider the fact that you have these antennas. So with the antennas, it's drastically taller. So if you're going for the smallest, I guess, size, then in that case, the Teradek might be a choice that you're going for. But if you're just looking at a system that's portable, then I think both of them will offer that. Now, things that I like and I don't like. What I don't like about the Teradek is that it does not have any built-in battery plates. So it means that the only way you can power this is by providing external power. So like of running it off of a DTAP, for example, of V-mount battery, or if you have, for example, power out through your camera. So that's kind of a bummer, because sometimes, like let's say if you wanted to use this with certain especially like DSLR, DSLM type of cameras that don't have power out and don't use big batteries usually, then that means you also need to connect something that will provide you somewhere between 6 and 28 volts. So that's something to consider. Whereas the Hollyland transmitter, here you can see it as the Sony NPF style battery plate built right on the back of it, and I think that's like a must-have feature. So I hate, for example, systems that don't have a battery plate like that built in, because it just, like I said, then you're really relying on making sure you have another power source. Whereas Sony NPF style batteries, they're easy to come by, they're affordable, and this way you can always throw one in there, and you know that you're still keeping everything fairly small, but you're powering the system. Now, both systems from Teradek and from the Hollyland will have a power in. So like I said, this one 6 to 28 volts, and the Hollyland is similar voltage range. So they both offer that. Now on the Hollyland you also have SDI in and HDMI in, and then you have your on and off button, and then you have here a little dial for changing the different frequencies. On the Teradek, you also have your on and off, you have a standby also mode. You have a USB connection, which, to be honest, I don't even know if that's whether you can power through USB or whether that's just for updates. But what's interesting is that aside from having an HDMI input like the Hollyland one and SDI input, you also have an SDI out. So if you want to, let's say, loop this, for example, like run it so that maybe you have a monitor there, mounted on your camera for your AC or things like that, then you can still do that. So you can run the signal, to the transmitter, and then have it, go to your monitor. Now, to be honest, for most of you guys, you probably won't care about this feature, because on a lot of professional monitors, you're already going to have a video, in and out. So that means you can basically run the video first to your monitor and then out to your transmitter. So maybe it's not a necessary feature, but just something to consider that the Teradek transmitter has it. Now, looking at the receivers, they're pretty much identical in size, and actually I would say the Teradek Bolt is a little bit heavier, even though technically it's a little bit smaller, as you can see up here, but it actually feels heavier. Aside from the features, again, I love the fact that the Hollyland one has a built-in Sony NPF style battery plate. Teradek doesn't have anything like that. So again, you're relying on powering this with an external power source. And just like the transmitters, it has your DC in, which goes from 7 to 28 volts on this one, and you have your power on and off. You have, again, the USB. You have HDMI out and SDI out. On the Hollyland one, you have pretty much the same things: power in, on-off power, HDMI out, and then also SDI out. And then you also have here setting for switching your different channels. And both of the systems also have an indicator. The Teradek one has it here on the side. Little basically LED lights that will indicate the signal strength. And then if you're getting basically an actual video signal from a camera or things like that. And the Hollyland one also has that, but just has it basically here on the front, the LEDs. considering the fact that Teradek is more, popular in the industry, whereas Hollyland is kind of a newer company, but also the fact that they offer pretty much the same features, the same performance, yet Teradek one is a lot more expensive. I would say, it's worth looking into the system here from Hollyland. And another thing I forgot to mention is actually what these systems come with. So when you actually get the Hollyland one, you will get a nice protective case, and in it you're gonna get a whole bunch of accessories, cables, actually mounting different mounts for it. Whereas the Teradek just comes with cardboard box, and they provide you cables like your standard SDI cables, HDMI cables, the USB cable. There's one tiny little cold shoe mount, basically for the transmitter, or I guess you could use it for the receiver too. This little thing. And one thing they give you is this D-tap to DC basically input power cable, but they only give you one of these. So I was actually very disappointed. They do give you an AC basically wall adapter, but when you're out in the field, like I was doing these tests, then you're kind of screwed without without this other cable. So that actually meant that I actually had to end up going and ordering another cable. So just like another extra cost. And to be honest, I don't know why they just didn't include two of these cables. I mean, it's like a little cable, and it's just a hassle. Like if you get this, to then afterwards, after the fact, realize that, oh man, I need to get this extra cable, and in case you were wanting to start using this right away, you might not be able to. So like I said, for me, I actually had to wait an extra 2 days, order an extra cable on Amazon, and wait for it to get here. Now the Hollyland, they kind of include everything. So like I said, one nice thing is that they give you the actual case, so protects everything, right? So that's a good thing. When you're traveling, you don't have to worry about the transmitter or the receiver getting beat up. Comes with instructions in English, good thing, even though it is a Chinese company. This is kind of how everything looks. So as you can see, the transmitter, receiver, everything's nicely protected. They give you this kind of a clamp, so you can mount this to your rails, to anything. Let's say if you're on a gimbal or something like that, you can, this clamp will extend pretty far. And then it has 3/8 and a 1/4 20 here screw, meaning you can attach one of their arms here that they give you. So they give you an arm like this. They also give you a cold shoe mount here, so you can mount it on top of the camera that way. They even give you tools. So they give you little tools here in case you need to access something in there, even though I never had to do that. You have your antennas here, and then they give you the power cables, meaning you get the P-tap to lemo connection here, power cable, and then they give you another one. So that's a nice thing, is they give you two cables right away, because obviously you have to power both the transmitter and the receiver. So it's just nice that you have that. Plus, like I said, both of them have the built-in Sony NPF style battery plates. So what do I think of it? I think it's a great, again, entry-level, professional, but still entry-level, meaning it's affordable wireless video system. And I'm just glad to see that that there's more companies now in this kind of a market, right? More competition usually means the prices are going to be coming down, and it's just going to be more readily available to us filmmakers, or anybody who's out there and doing any kind of video production. So it's nice to to have different companies in the market, and the fact that they're, like I said, they're all trying to kind of include extra features like the built-in battery plates and things like that. Overall solid system. Obviously the performance, as you see in my tests, it can vary depending on where you are, how much interference you have. If you have a lot of other, let's say, wireless video systems or audio systems and things like that that are on similar frequencies. So you got to obviously, keep all that in mind. The environment is going to dictate the performance a lot, but definitely the system performs as it promises to perform, which is good to know. And it just overall feels like a solid product. I haven't had a chance to use this over like many months yet. Just literally got this a week ago, so just thought I would test it out and show it to you guys. So if you guys want my long-term opinion on this, then just come back to my website, which is tomantosfilms.com. And usually I do a kind of a follow-up, or you'll just see me when I show kind of behind the scenes of some projects I'm working on. You're going to see if I'm using this system or perhaps some other system. But anyways, as always, on my website you can also find other filmmaking tutorials, gear reviews and things like that, as well as my original films. I'm going to actually be releasing another film that I shot this year, kind of a little passion project. So again, you can find all of that and a lot more on my website. So go there, check it out. Sign up to my newsletter while you're there. You'll get a bunch of lots as a thank you gift. And this way you're also going to be notified when I do release some cool new videos. Once again, my name is Tom Antos, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye.